Wisp.
It almost worked.
Selecting
I
first.
think that they were in a great position to win that series yesterday. I think a couple key mistakes in that game 3, and we could have seen Team Liquid eliminated very easily.
Lich, he's back.
First pick Lich.
Okay, you love Lich.
I love him.
Let's see what got overlooked.
You want to marry him.
Wisp and Earthshaker, both overlooked. A lot of teams up against the Lich will go towards heavy summon lineups, which can be directly countered by a second pick Earthshaker. So I'd be quite surprised to see TNC either to let Earthshaker go back to OG. I imagine they'll probably pick it for themselves with one of their 2 picks here, and then maybe look for Furion or some sort of hero that has summons, or can play really fast in between lanes.
I think that Lich is a good hero, but I think first picking him is quite scary as well, because he's, as we said, he's not a good hero to deal with summons, and Ench and those heroes are very good against him as well. So really gives the opportunity to the enemy team to. And here we see the team as well. It's like that hero that the PP picks, right? You see that Lich, who can't really move around a lot, and then you get the Maiden to be a little bit greedy.
Yeah, we saw VP pick that Maiden yesterday. I was not a huge fan of it, but it worked out really well. What we did see, they did do Crystal Maiden actually against the Lich, right? It was exactly supports, and CM was able to start in the jungle a little bit, but he was also able to move in between the mid and the safe lane and grab a couple kills. That game was a little weird for me just because I think the Beastmaster was feeding a lot, I think he could have played better, and Crystal Maiden and Night Stalker would have gotten all those kills.
And at least now here for OG, they're getting the Earth Spirit, who's actually a hero that can kill Maiden in the jungle if it can find her. So it's not the Kanka and Lich opening that VP was up against, but...
And if you're playing Crystal Maiden and Earth Spirit rolls on you with an Orb of Venom,
you're dead.
Yeah, most times Crystal Maiden has a clarity going, so first off, that's canceled. And you know, 140 mana for your freeze, and maybe you have 1, definitely don't have 2.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, I'm nearly certain Crystal Maiden is the slowest hero in the game, but also by a significant margin, right?
Treant Protector's pretty slow too. My 2 favorite heroes. Ice Frog, please.
One time.
I think Sand King got picked over Shaker because it's more flexible. I think they want to put Tim's on a more aggressive hero a lot of times. Although we did see them pick Naga a lot, I still think they do better when he's on the Sword Art Sand King. Or Sword Art Earth Spirit Sand King, rather.
5 seconds remaining.
Brew ban. I think they're going to pick a core that gets countered by Brew.
I think it's more about S4 that he's one of the best Brew players.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I think OG enabling S4 is a really good strategy for them. We saw the game where he's playing Panda. He got the 11-minute Blink Dagger or something.
Oh, he dominated start to finish in that game.
S4 is the kind of player who he knows how to cause initiations and he knows how to take smart fights. So having him kind of lead the direction of your team once he has that Blink Dagger is a really good spot to be in.
And that is also why it's quite hard to play against OG, because we have S4 and Ana who you don't really want to give a good game in the beginning of the game. But then you also have No-Tail who's very active, so it's very hard to shut all of them down.
Morphling ban.
Yeah, I mean, Ake, you mentioned earlier, Lich plus Morphling in the mid lane is an excellent way to circumvent the weaknesses of Morphling in the early game.
And it's also a way then for Ana to play a position 1 hero in the mid lane, and for them to make sure that he has a good game. So it's a very good ban from TNC.
Ben, you play a lot of carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
When somebody bans Morphling, what is something that you would want to play without a Morphling in the game? They just banned out the Naga, and Morphling's often great against heroes that build Radiance because you can replicate them and then have a Radiance on your side.
I think it's more so for the mid lane matchup. They know they can't shut down the mid lane because it's a Lich.
Oh, okay.
So
they're eliminating one of the hard carries that could present them problems.
Right, that could pretty much has a very easy early game because of the Lich.
Morphling's really good versus CM and Sand King. Any stuns are just no problem at all for Morphling because he can just more strength and survive. Also, he builds Lincoln Sphere, which is great versus Sand King.
So there's still a ton of good heroes out there that we haven't seen banned at all. I think Puck is still in the pool. Could be really good for S4 here. Hasn't been addressed because we see a lot of unusual bans here. Could be Chaos Knight, which OG has been going for a lot. No Shaker in the pool. Shaker still hasn't been picked or banned.
Yeah, that's surprising to me.
I'm not the biggest fan of CK because they have the Sand King stun and Crystal Maiden AoE if he can get the ultimate off to kill off the CK illusion. So
it's tough versus CK, but certainly CM is not the tankiest hero.
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, we've seen several Chaos Knight games on the main stage, and he gets kills and gets farm, feels unstoppable, and if he doesn't even feel like he's in the game.
No-Tail's got one of the better senses for playing that hero, I think. We saw the CK yesterday really just roam around early and not get a lot done, but I think No-Tail's got a nice balance of being ready to fight, also moving to create fights.
There's also like the Void DP combo, too, that's still open up for OG.
10 seconds remaining.
Do they play Void on the safe then, or?
Yeah.
I think maybe Darkseer is a way for them to make sure that OG needs to help No-Tail as well. Because if they leave No-Tail against the Darkseer, then usually Darkseer farms a lot and it's very hard to take the mid game when he gets his mech on Darkseer. But now they probably want to get a support there to help him out, and the Earth Spirit, he doesn't really want to be there.
He definitely doesn't want to be there. They probably want to pick somebody that can solo up against this Darkseer in lane. First thoughts, I think possibly Anti-Mage for OG could be an option.
Looking at the TNC lineup, I feel like of their current strengths.
Team fights.
Lots and lots of team fight. Good disables. Darkseer, no disables, but massive amount of team fight.
Set him up for the Sanking Stun, the vacuum to Sanking Stun, and Darkseer, he usually builds mech, and he can go pipe as well, so that really gives him a lot of magic resistance and health on the mechanism. So
Darkseer does a great job of enabling melee cores to be more effective in the early game with Ion Shell and Surge. So in these next two picks from TNC, we'll most likely see either one or two melee heroes to bolster his strengths, which melee heroes don't actually match up that well versus Lich and Earth Spirit because of the proximity of how their spells work. Lots of AoE, and the closer people are together, the more damage they're capable of doing. Necrophos as well, with his aura especially, constantly on melee heroes throughout team fights.
And like there we have the hero that we were talking about, that they can put on No-Tail that actually can solo against Darkseer. That's quite well.
It can solo versus Darkseer?
Yeah, I think so. He can sustain, and
I haven't played a lot of the new Necrophos, so interesting.
The only problem is if Sanking drives by and gets an Ion Shell, they're probably going to be ready with TP on Earth Spirit to help them.
Luna. Second appearance here on the main stage.
Look at the melee core I predicted, just popping right up right away. I'm on top of it, huh?
In your defense, Luna is the meleeest ranged hero in the game.
Yeah, people like to go melee range on Luna, right? So ideally the Ion Shell should just work for itself.
She's
Either way, when you're right, Peter.
Yeah.
I think there's two ways to deal with the Necrophos.
I'm right.
As a carry. You can either pick a Diffusal hero, or you can pick a carry that does a ton of magic damage, and Luna fits in the latter position. I think we saw it picked versus Liquid, I think, was it?
Yeah, Team Secret snatched up Luna in the final game.
And it destroyed the Necrophos. They, like, as soon as he popped the Ghost, they just bombed him with Eclipse.
I'd love to see OG head towards some Black King Bar heroes that built that item pretty naturally here. All four of these heroes definitely struggle against that item. Luna, a very magic-based damage carry for the early game until she gets Manta and the Butterfly.
TNC is also getting a lot of more team fight here with Luna, of course, with her ultimate, but also the aura of the Lunar Blessing that makes them being able to take down towers faster.
Yeah, Luna can be that frontliner for the team. Go hit the tower. What they don't have is any kind of save to back it up.
So Centaur for OG.
Alternatively to BKB heroes, they can build pipe wielders. Centaur, I think, builds hood / pipe every single game. Very, very good versus their lineup. And also, we saw it paired up a lot, Centaur Warrunner versus the Luna matchup. And it's actually very problematic for the Luna. Just like spam double edge on her. CM maybe not going to be in lane that much.
5 seconds.
You're not really in danger of dying a clip because of the hood.
I want to ask the same question that I asked earlier, but for OG. How would you describe this lineup, its strengths right now?
Teamfight and laning prowess. I think that they're set up to have a better early game with the Lich, and they'll probably take a decent early game advantage. I imagine Centaur will probably go hood first, or maybe even rush a blink, and he'll start looking for activity on the map. Darkseer, being the 3 position, is most likely going to be farming quite a bit more than the Sand King, who is most likely slotted as the 4. So we can expect an earlier Blink Dagger from OG and have them begin initiating fights, and TNC might be on the back foot until the 4 position and Sand King catches up.
I mean, especially with the Earth Spirit, that wherever there's any weakness, he can bomb in so easily, transitioning into Centaur and the Blink Dagger.
It feels like OG wants to kind of take the fight a bit back and forth. Like they have the center to be able to run out when Luna is coming in with her ultimate, and maybe they use the vacuum and wall on Darkseer.
Do you think we can expect a aggro trialing from TNC?
Could be. How is Darkseer against Centaur? It's quite even.
It's fine. It seems fine.
If they,
yeah, they walk.
Yeah, they should just block the hard camp.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, the Dark is just going to push out the wave and pull the hard camp and
talk about that. Can you explain that? Can you explain that for everyone who doesn't know what you're talking about?
That the Darkseer puts iron shells on the wave and he pushes it out. So
I was talking about the ward.
Oh, the ward. He puts the the centaur is going to bring a ward down to the bottom lane in case it's like against the Darkseer, and he blocks the hard camp with the ward so it doesn't spawn. So
the Darkseer pushes out the wave with iron shell, and then to take it to win the lane, to beat Centaur, he denies all of his creeps to the neutral hard camp there. So if Centaur wards that, then those creeps won't spawn, and that opportunity for him to, or for Darkseer to get ahead won't be there.
And here comes the Cuckoo, Queen of Pain.
Ana on Invoker, going to be versus Cuckoo on Queen of Pain. The draft is complete. Will TNC be able to let Luna get the farm needed to conquer in the end game, or will OG's building towards supporting Ana give them a victory here in game one? Let's head down to the casters to get this match underway.
It's been a year, Lumi, yet it feels like this could be deja vu. In 2016, OG was shocked when TNC took them down 2-0 in a similar circumstance in the lower bracket, I believe in this exact same round, to eliminate them from the International. Only 5 players from that match remain heading into this tournament. The lineups have changed, perhaps the styles have changed. Do you think history will repeat itself?
I don't know, but we're about to find out. I think it's always very dangerous.
Oh, come on, you gotta give me better than that.
Okay, well, I was trying to get into it as you brutally cut me off. But I think it's very dangerous to assume that, hey, it's the same matchup. It's going to be TNC taking it again. But I think last year TNC in this position came in as a team that didn't expect to go too far. They were playing as if there's nothing to lose, whereas on the other side, OG, they're TI, right?
They started upper bracket, they got shocked by
exactly.
Then they got bounced out.
Right, so I think mentality-wise, it's very different this year around. And coming in here, you could make the argument that TNC is supposed to be in the upper bracket still. They're supposed to be doing a lot better. They represent...
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little worried about OG. They're already asking for suggestions from the viewers. What items do they want?
Well, for Fly, he buys nothing. He buys wards, maybe has one GG branch. He's going to buy Tango and keep sharing with his allies.
It's two very different ways of asking that same question, right?
Yeah.
Jarex is like, well, which of these amazing core position items that can change the game should I get? Fly's like, can I get boots? Please?
Well, the good thing for Lich is that you do have the high natural movement speed, so you don't maybe need the boots till a little bit later.
So, I think coming into this tournament, to expand on your point, you were talking about TNC, a very different mindset, where that core that got them, the big upset last year has stuck together. 3 of their players remain with the new captain, but similar formula, another North American player being imported in to hopefully lead the team to greatness like Demon did last year. So you look at this matchup, they start in the upper bracket. It looked like versus LFY were just outmatched. What is kind of their trajectory heading into this game?
So I think they were outmatched by LFY because it wasn't the same TNC that did their bread and butter, right? They came into this tournament leading C with their own particular playstyle, which is, hey, we're going to Bat Rider Silencer you. This lineup that involves with a lot of precise teamfight coordination. And I'm glad to see them that they're doing this again. Like yesterday, they picked Broodmother, which is not a Cuckoo hero. They picked Alchemist, which Cuckoo does play, but only once in the last 6 months. These are not comfort picks for TNC that we saw yesterday. Today, however, this is all TNC special. We're going to see the beauty that is the Vacuum Burrow Strike. Tims and Sam H. I mean, I know they show Universe and Zai, like you called it the love story. This is the C love story. Like Sam H and Tims, they're mind linked when it comes to initiation. We're going to see some crazy combination for them.
All right, well, save the kissing until after the victory, TNC. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Cuckoo also playing one of his best hero. We'll see if he's going to be effective. He's only 50% in this tournament so far with the Queen of Pain, but this is probably his namesake hero. So this is a very good look for TNC. They're playing their strategy. They're playing with the comfort picks, and I think they're going to bring it to OG.
All right, the teams entering the fields of Dota. Game 1 of an elimination showdown begins now. So we'll see how the lane's set up here, Lumi. Looks like Sam H is going to be heading to the off lane as the Darkseer, so TNC looking very standard in their setup. S4 going off lane on the Centaur. Well, as I say that, it seems like NoTail might be heading that way. It does even have a TP scroll. So it looks like for OG that they really want a particular laning configuration. Are they afraid of aggression here?
I think, as the panel suggested, they want to line up the Necro versus the Darkseer. It's a decent lineup. As the smoke comes, and Jerax, the perfect position, breaks the smoke in the high ground. And honestly, not too good of an initiation, as he just throws some stones around.
Great minds thinking alike here. Cuckoo now going to try to trade out with Jerax a little bit. They do assume position to snag that bounty rune.
This is really big.
At the very least, they probably can get the bounty rune edge if they commit, but no, TNC are going to back away. So the smoke expended, a lot of damage done early. This Queen of Pain.
And more importantly, you force Queen of Pain to take Blink, so that's a lot of a harass that Ana doesn't have to deal with in the Shadow Strike. So
yeah, he does start with a lot of plus stats here, so already ate one of the 2 pulled tangos. He's going to be a bit light on regen in this middle lane.
I mean, that might seem like a small thing, but Jerax's move to break the smoke, force Blink on Queen of Pain, just gave Ana the lane that, like, for the first minute and a half, and he has got the better block, so.
And to make matters even better for OG, I believe they may have just seen this ward dropped up towards the top side, as Jerax had previously warded that exact same cliff, so they might even get a D-ward as well to start this laning stage. These are all little things. They don't directly translate into gold on the board, at least not in a major way, but indirectly can make a huge difference in the next 5-6 minutes. But top lane, this can make a direct impact. Burrow Strike coming through, looking for the first blood. S4 will go down. TNC grabbing that kill early.
LD, this is giving me the same deja vu. LGD ran a offlane Beastmaster and Lich yesterday combination. And remember what happened? It was Beastmaster moving too forward before the Lich got Frost Armor. Same story here. If you're playing at the offensive Lich lane, you definitely want to make sure that you hold back for a while and make sure you get level 2 on both of your heroes before you venture forward. Although with that said, OG does have the beneficial bottom lane, getting the matchup that they want, the Necrophos versus the Darkseer.
We are going to see Fly go for that D ward now and eats the Dire ward. So OG, I mean, they already had the ward there, so they should really have the ability to dodge these ganks with full vision supremacy in the top lane for now, but a bit of a sloppy start gets them TNC roll lane, and we'll see. Meanwhile, this Necro versus Darkseer lane, is it, so you consider it quite advantaged for the Necrophos?
It's not too advantage. I mean, normally when you pick Darkseer, you pick him for the mid-game team fight, but also for the lane dominance, and he's not getting that part. Like, he is not going to be able to dominate NoTail, so in that sense, it's a small draft win for NoTail, and he's also going to be able to farm for a big item should he choose to do so. Because I don't think Sam H is going to be able to deny any of his farm.
Despite the D-ward, Tim's still playing aggressive here on the north side of the map. He is going to try and snag a bounty rune, does so. So roaming constantly, but his movement's largely being tracked. Not sure if they'll identify that he's moving towards mid now.
Bottom lane, NoTail.
In danger. Necrophos staying alive for now. Doesn't have that point in the Ghost Shroud just yet.
Yeah. I mean, that might look like it was like a pretty good turn event for Sam H, but honestly, with the fact that NoTail could just regen off of last hits, I don't think he's going to be too worried about how the lane's going.
Already back to full HP. Just giving Sam H some poke damage where he can, but top lane again, they make their move, and they might actually get the jump here in S4. Lucent Beam sets it up, Burrow Strike to follow. Do they have the damage to bring him down? Tries.
Yes, they do.
Tries to get some out before he falls. A second death for the offlane Centaur.
Very curious skill point for Lich to actually go for the Nova here instead of the Frost Armor, or rather Ice Armor.
So the downside of this ward, I guess, is also I think Tim's took this northern approach, which is just out of vision of that OG ward. They may not have expected that rotation. Nice adjustment there.
They should have seen him walking past the ward, but I guess they were just looking elsewhere. But I think these lanes should be going a little bit better for OG, but this is no surprise for any TNC fans. Sometimes they just win from the laning stage due to the raw mechanical skill that the player has. Cuckoo, I think, one of the best players in the mid lane for NC. Like, bar none. He's so good.
And they gave him the Quappa here that can excel, and the Lich so far has just been trying to support that Centaur in the top lane. It was mentioned, and I think it really has been true for OG, that so often Ana gets the priority with support, with the hero picks, with the amount of farm he's given. They haven't really offered him much in the mid lane, just that early support from the Earth Spirit, but he's largely been off the lane, rotating around early here. And as a result, Cuckoo has been able to get the edge on Ana CS-wise, though. Ana starts to equalize it now. They are making their moves with Tims. Again, pursuing Fly, trying to force him back, hits that burrow.
They got the blink.
Cuckoo can come in for this, blinking forward, scream, one hit! Just gets him, the DD rune from Tims working its magic. TNC 3 in a row. This Sand King, the gift that just keeps on giving.
What we're going to see throughout this series is Cuckoo's understanding of the tiniest lines.
He's going for number 4. No Radiant Vision of this movement. Tims has managed to find just that one sliver of fog, and he wraps around on a No-Tail. No-Tail's in trouble, does have the Ghost Shroud to try and keep him alive a bit longer. The auto attacks too much, he gets the heal off. They're going to have another burrow in 5. Surge is available, driving Tims deeper. In comes the Earth Spirit. They need that burrow. They get it too, but the trade might be. Jarek's taking 1. Can he get 2? Rolling forward, a bit off the mark on Sam H, who now turns, wants to fight. Gonna let him go. So another core kill and another successful rotation. Feels like that puppy game from yesterday on the Spirit Breaker, where every single gank paid off.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that Necrophos doesn't have a magic stick. He now responds and buys one, but had he had a magic wand and he Ghost Shroud and just popped the wand, he would have been at full HP. You know that Darkseer is going to be spamming a lot of spells in lane, so he could have been accruing a lot of wand charges. So maybe just a small oversight, but definitely had to pay for it.
I mean, it also could be Sam H just staying far away from him when he's using the Ion Shell. So.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had the wand for a while, but yeah.
Unless I just didn't see the wand. That's my apology.
No, he did have it, but he just never got that many charges. So I think a lot of it is credit to Sam H being smart about when he uses his spell.
Standing in fog before using the Ion Shells.
Top lane, the
S4.
pursuit on S4. But again, just keep your eyes on Tims, because he is constantly trying to pressure. This time, though, Jarex standing at the shrine is going to be able to bully him away. So, rolling forward, even wants to commit, try to contest that bounty room, but Tims grabs it again.
That Orb of Venom, though, doing a number on Tims, is going to force him away.
He may have to burrow away here. Now, Cuckoo coming in for support. So, overall laning stage now with 4 kills to their name, TNC. They've accrued a decent gold advantage. Experience, though, still dead even. All things considered, Lumi, how do you feel each team has done at accomplishing their respective objectives in this early laning stage?
I think TNC is doing a lot better than OG. OG has the Lich advantage, so you should be ahead in the lane. They have the Necrophos versus Darkseer matchup, but what pans out happening is that TNC is winning at least 2 out of 3 lanes. You can make the argument that they're winning all of the lanes.
Smoking up, TNC do move over towards mid, while meanwhile in the top lane, Raven's in trouble, has the teleport scroll, but a stun from S4 could do him in. He's got decent moves, people with the slow coming through from the Lich. Sunstrike to follow. He will go down, even pop the Fairy Fire, but meanwhile, look at mid. Eyes on Ana, who's been corralled by Cuckoo. They'll take him down. No-Tail even rotating, does have the Reaper's Sight. Isn't enough damage, though. Not quite. 1437 skates away. Now that punishment for No-Tail, and TNC get away with all 3. A 2-for-1 around the map, and they might get more. Cuckoo, he's got the level 4 screen here. He can go on Jarex. He will do so. It's a triple for Cuckoo.
Blocks the roll while doing so. He might be in a little bit of trouble under the tower. Fly trying to body block him. He has Nova looking to, well, Cuckoo.
He's a little bit short on the mana here. The Blink's cooling
Blink,
down.
1 second. Blink, he's out.
And with the Sunstrike already expended, they won't have one in time. Cuckoo outplaying OG.
This is where Cuckoo is at his best, walking that fine line, knowing when to go in, knowing what spells to use when you only have like 150 mana and making it work. This is Cuckoo. Like, this is the one game you know he's playing well, for sure.
Meanwhile, Sam H taking advantage of that movement from No-Tail does drag the creeps off and do a little bit of jungling here, get that extra bonus experience. Definitely one of the benefits of a Darkseer who's left unchecked against the solo here. He could be more greedy in the jungle and get away with it. But look at this, TNC now making the move towards top, smoked up. Will this next gank also be successful? OG are anticipating it perhaps. They're not going on Raven. No, they're gonna try now. Rolling boulder forward commitment with the Stampede. Follow up, he doesn't have Eclipse yet, but now TNC want the turnaround play. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be happening. The Sand King of Tims has to back away.
TNC wanted
bottom lane onto No-Tail. The dive from Cuckoo has the Ghost Shroud to try and keep him in fighting shape. The crossbow not available. Reaper Sight with a silence. He dodges the boulder though, bottling up. See ya. Cuckoo finally dealt with. OG certainly needed that.
Yeah, very good movement for OG, setting up the kill up top and then defending their core from a kill on the bottom. Very nicely done. What TNC wanted to do is rotate their support to the Luna as soon as she picks up that level 6 and set up an Eclipse kill. But I think OG is just one step faster, one step ahead.
And with that Quap rotation, it does free up Ana in the middle lane. He's been doing a lot of chip damage, and now it's becoming quite substantial structural damage. This tower's down to 400 HP. Likely goes down the next time that someone leaves the lane unchecked. Still, eyes on Tims for TNC. Had a great start in the lanes. Lumi already 600 gold banked. With the Tranquils, the brain drops up as well. So the Blink Dagger is next on his agenda. 1 or 2 kills to just set that ball rolling.
Yeah, a lot of teams at this moment in time, they would just give a lane to Sanking to basically let him get that blink, but it looks like they want to have Tims on the map still to make sure that he's applying pressure. Looks like he will be able to get the tier 1 tower up top.
Will he though? OG want to contest this. They smoke in with Jerax and look to take a fight, but Tim's burrowing out. There is a stampede available. Jukes away, dodges that boulder smash. Still the roll forward, still the commitment with the silence coming through. Sunstrike as well. OG make the Scorpion explode. Crucial kill for them if they continue to slow down Tim.
Mid lane, Queen of Pain blinks in, applying a ton of pressure onto Ana, but with the 14 wands, it's going to be okay.
So TNC, fantastic start for the lanes. They got tons of kills, lots of pressure, killed off Ana, slowed him down a lot. But what's next for them now? Do they need to calm down, take a step back and farm? Should they ramp up the pressure? What's the game plan for TNC moving forward?
Well, kill Ana, that's game plan number 1 here as Ghost Walk is forced out. Sonic Wave is available, but Cuckoo will let him go for now.
Good discipline there by Cuckoo. That ult is a long cooldown, especially you're not going to get the Aghanim Scepter upgrade, which we don't see too much nowadays.
So to answer your question, I think there's going to be a couple of peak timings coming out from TNC. When you combine the mech finishing on the Darkseer as well as the blink pickup on the Sanking, TNC could definitely go for a big fight. Mid lane, hold that thought here as we're going to see it go. Queen of Pain, perfect chain sank from OG, and they blow up Cuckoo.
That early aggression from Cuckoo now being answered back. But TNC make their move. First time the Luna's going to get active on the board. Heads towards the bottom side. They'd love to dive out No-Tail. They've got tons of nuke damage here. Ghost Shroud will not save you if TNC can keep the vision. They try for the wraparound here. Still no vision this rotation, but No-Tail realizes something's not right.
TP's out.
He TP's to join his team. That might mean the tower's forfeit, but it should also mean that they don't give up any kills.
Yep.
So instead, congregate and start chipping down this tier 1.
This is a very
OG
standard
do not want to fight.
Standard gank timing from a Luna team. We saw that out of MP and Team Secret yesterday. As soon as she hits level 6, level 7, you should expect a smoke gank. And like you said, they do get the tower, but it should be a kill and then a tower. So TNC losing out a little bit there with that smoke rotation.
Big dive in from Cuckoo again, trying to force out the TPs. If he gets 1, make it 2. Looks like the Lich will complete. And in the jungle, 1437, barely running by Jerax, who quickly rolls away. So OG, as you mentioned, mirroring the movements. It's a slow push top. You almost wonder, do TNC come back and try and defend? But
they're happy pushing a tier 2 bottom right now.
They would rather split push instead.
Yeah.
They're also trying to pincer. Tims and Cuckoo moving in.
Look at how
the
aggressive.
flank, but Jerax is there on the high ground. Tims is going to see him almost at the same time, but not quite. The silence comes out. Now the nuke from the Lich. He's got a burrow directly on top of himself, only hitting 1 as well. And now smashed again. The roll forward nets them another kill. TNC disengage. OG just keep on getting the jump. They have crawled completely back into this game. Now that tower dropping in the top lane. No-Tail, the hood complete. Very heavy magic damage for TNC. It was something the panel mentioned 3-4 picks in, and even this last pick.
Oh, No-Tail.
Only continued that agenda.
Eclipse coming out from the side. They blow up him very easily, and now they're on the chase. Vacuum is available. Vacuum back. No Burrow Strike to connect that. Sankey nowhere near it this fight. Queen of Pain. It's the combo. Nice silence from Jerax. Complete chain stun.
You talked about how good TNC are at hitting those intricate combos, but OG, they've been the ones really delivering in that department over the last couple minutes.
Yeah, what's really lacking from TNC is just the raw power of stuns, right? They have 1 Burrow Strike as an AoE disable, and that's going to be the best combo spell with the Vacuum.
They need that blink. He's going to take some time and farm it up now. Vacuum is level 4 at SMH, so once he gets it, feels like their team fight should ramp up a lot. You also got a mech nearly completed. So that appears to be the timing for TNC. Get those items. You know, the Luna will try to farm towards late game as she completes her Mask of Madness relatively soon, but you're really looking for that big AoE teamfight combo.
Yep. We could might die here.
Links out just in the nick of time.
Jirax not here for once. So I do want to mention that yes, you know, the blink dagger timing on Sanking is important. The mech timing is important, but the counterplay from OG is going to be that Centaur ultimate, right? Like, if the Sanking Burrow Strike is expended, there is really no way that you stop Stampede from engaging or disengaging. So it's very important. Well, I mean, Frostbite stops one, but when the whole team runs at you.
No, you're definitely right. Stampede is great against TNC. They they have to chain everything in a very small window.
Basically, TNC has to win the team fight during Vacuum Burrow Strike. If they don't win it, then OG has the option to win or turn.
Cuckoo, for once, is getting the vision here. A dire scan reveals nobody is top, and they're going to see Jirax. Also, Ana out in the trees. They might even go for this Invoker. If he's still sticking around, that would be the much juicier kill. Ana just walking right by, and actually dodges away. It is nighttime.
I mean, they have a ward though, right? Shouldn't they have?
They're afraid of what lurks behind, it seems.
You know, this is
no quap ult for 5 seconds.
This is the third Invis rune that Cuckoo has picked up, but hasn't really converted them into too many kills.
Yeah, where he was absolutely dominating that middle lane early, he's now 30 CS down. Net worth is slipping as well. And that is the question. Do you want to try and just engage in this farm war with Ana having a pretty timely Midas? The Ags is over halfway complete. Actually, 3/4 complete.
OG gonna show on the mid. Quick kill here. And they're going to transition to pushing that tower. I mean, if
Ana, top lane, big dive, but immediate rotation comes in, hits the 2-arrow tornado, and now look for the turn. Rolling forward, Jirax is going to miss on his opening, but they don't want to commit too much just for an Earth Spirit. Now comes the vacuum, now comes the combo, the quad ult, he gets silenced! Jirax denies him. Cuckoo can't get his ult up. He blinks up, he scatters back. They're going to lose 3 in the end with that Crystal Maiden mid, and they don't even get a kill. The teamwork from OG, keeping the dream alive.
Raven gonna try to get the best thing out of a Bass situation. Gets the tier 2. Had he had a tier 1 to port 2, maybe he could have joined with a teleport scroll and an Eclipse, but that team fight looked over pretty fast. Just shows you the power of Stampede against TNC's draft.
And the power of the Earth Spear with the silence as they now set up on the bottom lane. Luna not gonna quite get clipped by the Sunstrike, but the threat is there. Take another look at this engagement.
It is so important for TNC to get things done during the short stun duration of that Burrow Strike. And if you don't, man, look at that Jirax silence and stun.
Quap was mid-cast animation on a level 2 Sonic Wave there when she got first Boulder Smashed and then silenced. Narrowly dodging what could have been a catastrophe for OG.
It's going to be a long while until TNC will be able to fight with their Luna. Luna, despite how farmed she is, still needs the BKB, still needs to finish the Manta before she could really stand in the front line against this kind of dangerous nuking combination of OG. But let's talk about the Luna later. I think the more important timing is the Darkseer mech plus the Blink Burrow Strike. And TNC is almost there. Just needs 150 gold on Tims. And we're going to definitely see a smoke from TNC.
And they'll need this 4-hero group up to get something done. Perhaps Raven will join them, but one of the issues that we've seen with Luna is that she just needs so much farm after that laning stage to be a high-impact carry. She's very squishy. She's got low attack range. Sure, the Glades can bounce fairly far, but she often finds herself in the middle of fights out of position and dying until she gets, say, the BKB, the Manta, maybe a Butterfly worked in there somewhere, like a lot of big expensive items. So,
and because her ally doesn't have anything like 4 staffs and you're playing against Stampede,
they don't have a Dazzle, they don't have an Oracle, they have no save.
It makes positioning that much harder. TNC just essentially has to outplay OG,
and you're up against the Centaur. So it does feel like the Luna is very much just a supporting cast member until that 30 to 40 minute mark when the farm finally kicks in, but that also kind of plays into Ana's wheelhouse as the Invoker. Not to mention the late game Necrophos, the Centaur Ags, these are not things to sneeze at if you're TNC. So it kind of goes full circle, and I do feel like it is all about this mid-game timing that we keep on harping on. With the Darkseer level 4 vacuum, the mech online, the Blink Dagger on Sand King, can TNC find those incredible team fights.
I mean, just look at how afraid TNC is. If you want to go to dire vision, they have 2 wards in the enemy jungle, but you just don't see any members of OG. Even with the Blink Dagger, it looks like they just got a glimpse of the Earth Spirit placing a ward. Even with the Blink Dagger, they don't feel kind of aggressive enough. And I think they might be missing one of their peak timing right now.
Well, they're going to try to make something happen here. Perhaps on Jerax. They see him roaming around on their side of the river. They hesitate for a long time, assuming almost that he has his whole team there.
Yeah.
But in fact,
it's just Jerax.
It's just Jerax. OG are farming.
Yeah, comparing to what OG's doing, you know, TNC's grouped up as 4, holding hands, being afraid. And OG's spreading out. They're letting that Midas on Invoker kicking in. Their Necro's doing well. Same thing with that Centaur, so.
I always feel like OG are a bit in their heads after the last few ganks that backfired. And meanwhile, Ana just calmly continuing his own farm progression. The Boots of Travel complete, the Ag's already out. And now the BKB, the next crucial item for him. Once he gets this BKB, Lumi, they already have a pipe on the Necrophos. They're building another hood and potentially a double pipe here on OG as S4 completes that hood.
Yeah, pipe.
It's all magic damage until this Luna gets big. Yeah, the pure damage Queen of Pain ult, that's not enough on its own.
For sure. And, you know, I keep saying it's so important for TNC to win the team fight fast. You know, you have Vacuum, you have Burrow Strike, you got to win it then. The double pipe's going to be effectively preventing that from happening. And once they survive that initial engagement, Stampede is going to just take over the fight. So I think OG is itemizing perfectly. They are outplaying TNC in terms of the map game. TNC is just so scared. And, you know, if this game just goes at the exact same pace like it's going now, OG is going to win the late game for sure.
And you know TNC feel a little pressure to make a move. That's why they went for these mid-game items. That's, you know, part of why they drafted the way they did is they wanted to be on the offense right now. But it's actually OG making those plays. Rolling forward, Jerax tries to start. Won't see an opening. TNC back away in time. The ward perhaps assisting them at a critical moment.
Oh, I think they might be waiting for yet another timing. Samage is about to pick up his Blink Dagger, so maybe that's what they're going for. Blink Vacuum, Blink Burrow Strike, and win right there and there. So yeah, they get the Blink and they go immediately. This has to work.
It's got to be perfect, but OG, they might have the superior position here, lurking in the trees. They do back away, but no more ward for the Dire, so they won't actually see them backing out.
This Radiant War saw that there is a Darkseer Blink, so OG's got the full information.
Freshly planted down from the safe confines of the tree line. Now TNC moving in, trying to bring this tower down. There is a glyph available. Feels like OG want to contest, judging by their positioning. S4 marching forward, no dire vision up that hill. Very dangerous to just group up as 5. Could well get caught by S4. If you don't go, you just let OG farm. Ana will continue to pull ahead.
Yeah, I think TNC is going to lose out on the economy game. I mean, Luna is one of the best late game hyper carries, so let's not count them out completely. And they do have some amazing team fight.
They haven't really been trying to play that game, right? Like Luna has not. I haven't seen too many ancient stacks. They're not really prioritizing the Luna's farm. The early roaming was all about kills for Tims. So I agree with you. She is one of those heroes. It just doesn't seem to be a big part of the TNC approach to this game.
Sunstrike is gonna check the Roche.
And a Dire Scan will hit pay dirt. This could be the moment for TNC.
But Queen is mid. Queen revealed herself mid, so that's that big burst
pushing
damage.
out the wave, but the rest of the team is streaming towards bottom. They've got the tier 1 tower here. Quap should be able to catch up. And on the high ground, it's Jerax again. He rolls away. He just keeps on giving. TNC pursue, but it's a fool's errand. He's out of there, it seems. Maybe Cuckoo. Oh, he finds him. The Eul Scepter's there. Double damage available. Dodge away from the Boulder Smash.
Silence.
And they corral him, this pesky Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, reinforcements are arriving. They do have a Stampede ready, but they're not going to see an open use. It's still S4 marching in. He finds Cuckoo. There's going to stop. The back to interrupt, but the Necro ult already came out. There was no Sand King stun. Tim's headed on cooldown. TNC are flabbergasted as OG again get the jump, get the kill. And again, Lumi, it's Jerax. It started at the level 1 smoke. It continues now. The silence in the previous team fight, every big engagement is being won one way or another by this Earth Spirit.
The sense of pressure is really kind of poking into TNC. I mean, when you do a nighttime smoke gang and it breaks, when you're on the low ground like that, you have no vision in the enemy jungle. They were just chasing for kill. They just feel like they had to get something done, and they chased a little bit too deep.
Setting up on Raven.
Doesn't have the BKB finish yet, so really can't sit in the front.
All the while, Ana just split pushing to his heart's content. He's basically got the BKB now. That little skirmish, he was up about 2K in the Luna. Now he's up almost 4K as he continues to pound into this tier 2. JerAx setting up for the next potential pickoff here. He's on the high ground. He's got the vision of that Sand King. Tims needs to back away, and the tower will fall. BKB is ready if Ana wants it, but he changes plans, now going for the Lincoln Sphere instead. Either way, the idea of killing this Invoker, jumping someone and cleanly picking off a core. The Stampede is already an issue, the Pipe is a factor, now Mech's been completed on No-Tail, and this Lincoln's might just interrupt that one crucial disable that you need to actually kill off the Invoker.
I mean, on paper, they have both, you know, Frostbite as well as Burrow Strike, but Crystal Maiden's such a slow-moving hero, she's going to be on the back line most of the time. So this Lincoln is going to be true. Like, it's going to be blocking pretty much a Burrow Strike all the time. JerAx takes up an Invis Rune and again scouts out the rotation from TNC.
I wonder if OG look to fight this. They do have some pretty good vision. That ward that was planted down mid. Still, TNC have not realized that it's in the mid lane. But OG, again, strategically, they have a clear game plan, it seems. We're going to let Ana keep on split pushing. We'll keep on farming. We'll get the double pipe or maybe the Ags and Centaur, as he is going to switch gears, S4, changing his mind as well. And once that Centaur gets an Ags, they already have so much sustain from the Necro. The Invoker can't really be jumped. Now he's back to BKB as well. OG a bit indecisive with their item choices here. But either way, once they get that next round of items... Oh no, okay, he actually already has the Lincoln Sphere complete, never mind.
I mean,
that.
You say they keep changing the items, but all those items do the same thing, right? They just want to tank up whether for themselves or for the whole team.
They survive the initial combo, and
exactly.
then they take the fight.
They understand that once they survive the initial burst from TNC, that's it. Like, there's no TNC. Like, they're so reliant on that Sonic Wave and perhaps even the Freezing Field to win a team fight for TNC.
They want to jump S4 here bottom. Tims is thinking about it, but that is a bridge too far. They're not going to commit. Meanwhile, OG ambitions towards the Roche Pit. They are congregating. Ana's going to move into position. Reeves now up on No-Tail. More and more team fight. More and more 5-man starting to ramp up. The OG machine.
And No-Tail's so tame. Reeves pipe, not something that we see too often out of Necrophals. They're more worried about, you know, killing people normally. Getting items like Hail, sometimes you see Dagon, sometimes you see Blink. This game, he understands that he's going to be in the front line. S4 is going to be playing the counter initiate. And No-Tail's doing a fine job so far.
When do TNC make their move? Do they make their move? Or do they just continue to farm and await for OG to come to them? The BKB is done on Raven. Again, still all combat items from TNC. Even Cuckoo going for the Yule Scepter here. It's something for these early skirmishes to deal with the Earth Spirit. As OG smoke up, but it was scouted. This could be an opportunity for TNC. No vision up that crucial hill. They're in position. Does JerAx get caught for once? He's always gotten the jump.
The scan hits though.
But they know.
Yeah.
They will back away.
In fact, this is very smart. They smoke and they just wait. Wait for the Queen of Pain to farm that wave and then jump her.
Someone's going to come and farm it. Blinks in, gets off the scream, and now they try to pounce. They stream in. S4 looking for the stun, but the BKB dodge. Now the Eclipse, now the back as well. Chain Cross bouncing through. They're on the chase. Tim hits Pater with the 2-hero burrow. They pound forward. They haven't killed anyone yet.
They're so tanky.
Alive. The Quap Bolt only hits No-Tail with Ghost Shrouds it up. Still, they keep on working on him. They may yet bring him down. Commitment from TNC. They do get the Necro. Now they want the second kill. Ana looking for the turn. Tims is their lone stun. He needs to stay alive here. He's almost dead. 5 chases, but perhaps too deep. Cuckoo can almost bring him down. Shadow Strike, auto attack, gets the second kill of the fight. Now the turn. Cuckoo has the Yules. He has the blink. He makes it away.
Yule fights
and the Yules comes through, and they will end up going down here.
They're going to chase for more.
Back the other way. They've blown everything, Lumi, the Eclipse, the BKB, but they fight at the shrine. They may die at the shrine. Back as well. Now the Deathly Blast. Cuckoo diving back in, looking for S4. The Magnetize wasn't enough. S4's overextended. They fought uphill into an enemy shrine. That is a classic strategic error, and they will get punished for it, Fallen. Ana looking for the salvage. Not going to happen.
Huge team fight, back and forth, but I think That was just a 4-for-4, right? Including a buyback as well. You could argue pretty even, but the fact that TNC had to buy back on the Queen of Pain is going to stop her next round of items. I think ultimately an OG victory. TNC cannot get any objective off of that engagement. No Roche, no tier 1 tower on the mid lane. Good BKB usage from the Luna, but despite of that, you know, did end up going down.
If nothing else for TNC, I think it probably is a little reassurance that they're not out of the game yet. They can still win these fights with good execution. OG are not so far ahead that they can't take them down.
Yes or no, right? Like, if OG did not chase up a shrine, I think OG would just flat out win that.
Yeah, but also the quad bolt hit one. You know, there's a lot of things on both sides that could have gone better.
Yeah, and of course the Centaur initiation was blocked by the quick BKB usage. So yeah, you know, a lot of things could have gone better for OG. OG taking advantage of the fact that they have very low cooldown ultimates, goes right into the shrine. Roshan.
I don't see TNC contestants.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same combo that Team Secret ran yesterday on the game that they lost. Queen of Pain ult as well as Luna ult. Very long cooldown, you lose that one fight. Other team says, all right, we go into Roche.
Even if you win that one fight, they might just go into Roche anyway.
Exactly. That's exactly what Liquid did yesterday, so.
So TNC now, they'll be up against an Aegis. No-Tail already very tanky as the Necrophos we saw took a days, it felt like, to kill him. And now they cannot easily bring down Ana. They may try. Cuckoo blinking in. Ana there, lobs out the tornado, but 4 of his teammates are top, so tries to force Cuckoo back on his heels with the meteor raining down. Tims could do not, but watch the fireworks.
I think the danger for TNC moving forward is that with the items that they're now buying, it doesn't increase their damage output. Like Cuckoo's working for a BKB, Luna's trying to finish their Manta style. Blink forward here, Jurak finds the stun, Crystal Maiden gonna get silenced. Nice Glimmer Cape, dodges away, but Stampede's gonna allow them to chase her even further. I think the CM is gonna go down.
Eventually perhaps, but not before getting a little bit of a retaliation blow as though the Chain Thrust was committed. A little damage from 1437, but nonetheless he will fall.
Yep.
And OG certainly in control now as they push through mid. Ana out in front is gonna gank this tower from the rear, and with the tower dropping, you do wonder, do OG even consider a high ground assault? All ults are up.
They have the Aegis though, so they can poke at
have
it.
The Aegis.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's perhaps the safest play is to wait for S4's Aghanim Scepter. He's only 600 gold away, but with the Aegis, they feel confident enough. And look at how much damage they're doing to the tier 3.
Look for the miracle back. They need that big combo. TNC biding their time, waiting for the opening here, but the Sand King's get caught out. He is the +1 to that initiation, and he is down. OG
now. I think you could just hit the building.
Easily picking him up. They got a ward on the high ground to set that all up. No buyback on the Sand King. Out for a minute. They might get more than that. Lumi, here comes the back, but where's the follow-up? They need a burrow. They need an epi. They don't have it. Instead, they might lose 1437 again. Glimmer Cape to try and keep him alive. They're going to tap the shrine. Fight for all they can. Eclipse is there from Raven. Will meet the Earth Spirit. Force him on his heels, but the melee has fallen. OG can get out and be content with that. Sunstrike having an additional fish will roast Raven. Force him on his heels. So OG, they get what they came for. They take the melee. They are one step closer to a Game 1 victory.
TNC's itemization are critical. These BKBs are very important. Unfortunately, these BKBs are also not winning them the fights. Now they're going to chase for a little bit more. Ana goes right into Viz after taking down the shrine. He gets out. And, you know, as I keep speaking about TNC lacking damage, there's still more from OG to go in terms of tanking items. That Aghanim Scepter is finished on Centaur, so 40% damage reduction during the Stampede. I just don't think they could kill OG anymore.
OG have to screw up. That's basically how it feels now, that they need to waste the Stampede, maybe blow the pipe, someone gets caught out of position, but in a true 5v5, I almost feel, even if TNC hit the 5-hero Vacuum, Epi, Burrow, Quapple, Eclipse, CM ult, it might not even be enough as long as Centaur presses his ult
and there's a pipe going off.
The pipe and the Greaves.
Yep.
Not to mention, at least right now, you have to worry about the Sages. And that's a big assumption, right? Because OG don't all have to have all 5 out in front like that. They can easily sit back and siege safely behind the Necro, behind the Invoker Forge Spirit.
They have been doing exactly that, you know, even though that there's a Aegis on the Invoker, they feel that No-Tail is tanky enough to send in front. Now he has a Yules to be used defensively for himself. Now we're going to see perhaps the last hurrah from TNC. They need a perfect combo.
This is what dreams are. See, here comes the back, here comes the burrow. Look for the follow-up from Cuckoo. The ult's cooling down though. He doesn't have the Sonic Wave. They need to get these kills quickly. And out goes the Reaper's Sight. Not quite enough damage yet. Only the Liches fall into CM the trade. TNC commits so much, but they didn't have the extra spells required. The Eclipse also 15 seconds off cooldown. It could have been amazing, Lumi. But they just didn't have the icing for that cake.
I think TNC is, maybe on tilt is probably not the right word, but just feeling immense pressure right now. Remember that smoking into the enemy jungle where they chase deep for Jerax? Just like small things where timings are just a little bit off. And that might have been the game. Now, I mean, you have your ult again, but no wall. They still have the vacuum burrow strike combo, and this needs to strike true.
But now OG will know it's coming. They can be prepared for it with their positioning. You can see the Centaur's off in mid, so almost assuredly, he should be able to get off that Stampede. The fight starts while it's still on cooldown, but it starts with OG out in front. The back is there to counter.
Sanking's dead,
but no burrow strike follow-up. 45 seconds on the sideline. The fight rages on. TNC desperately trying to hold the line, but it's too late. Ana has taken the melee mid, chewing through Sam H, forcing him on his heels. One melee to go, and then OG will be in pole position to finish off this first game. And it feels almost a guarantee that they will get it. The range now being plinked down, No Tail landing the assist, OG streaming in, rotating towards bottom. They want their vengeance for last year, and they're gonna get one step closer if they can close this out. Cuckoo, Sunstrike coming through, forces him back, the Eclipse committed, but casual Stampede, they'll back him back in. S4, he doesn't care about your clips, he doesn't care about your vacuums, he still gets out.
That was an Eclipse use and a Stampede, and they're 4 HP. Now the second half of the fight now breaks out. Reaper's Sight will get BKB. Nice activation by Cuckoo. Raven in the front line, he doesn't have the BKB, will get absolutely blown up. And now it's a route going the other direction. Buyback from the Luna. Crystal Maiden will quickly fall as well. OG stays as 5 strong, and TNC shattered as they run away.
5 heroes now converging on this Tier 3 in the bottom lane, looking for the third lane of Rax. The Stomp comes through, the burrow to interrupt, but where's the follow-up? Where's the damage? They need it, and they just simply don't have it. They back in again. There's so much combo potential. The Quap ult, it tickles. It does nothing more from Cuckoo, and now, as a roll and a smash forward occur, it spells his demise, it spells TNC's demise. Game 1 is OG's. Clinical. And I have to say, Lumi, Jerax, an incredible showing. Broke the smoke gank at level 1. He interrupted multiple other smoke ganks that game. The silence that prevented the Quap from getting the follow-up Sonic Wave in that early fight behind the Tier 1 top. So many fights just never got off the ground. As OG, they walk out, they feel good, but they know it is a best of 3, and this one ain't over yet.
Yeah, I know the crowd was cheering for the Earth Spirit as
biggest playmaker we saw on day 1 of the main event.
Naga is very good against Earth Spirit in that sense that if actually Earth Spirit commits his ultimate and Naga sleeps, he won't have time to refresh the ultimate with his stones on Earth Spirit, so it's a good counter. It's kind of like Void, as we've been talking about the other days, that Naga is good against him.
It's also, Naga is a pretty easy hero to go Guardian Greaves with. Just remove silences and Earth Spirit ult, whatever you need to get rid of.
So we saw Naga pick, I think, a decent amount yesterday, but it didn't have that great of success. I think the Naga Disruptor and Naga Enigma is really where you want to go to with this hero, so you can overwhelmingly win a team. We saw Naga Siren into Arrow, which is only 1 target. You can play around it, but Naga Siren Disruptor, especially when he gets Ags, if it gets 40 minutes plus, it's almost a guaranteed win.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the biggest turnarounds we saw in EG's very first game yesterday. Naga Siren for EG. instantly countered by a follow-up disruptor. And Shadow Demon, is this the first appearance he's made in
He was picked.
ages?
Yeah.
Seems like ages.
He is one of the heroes that hasn't been picked a lot this tournament, and I don't really like him that much.
I don't think so either. I don't think he's very strong. I think they nerfed his disruption illusions quite a bit.
And the poison in the early game that you can't really zone out to your opponent with it.
Yeah, he's really weak. I'm curious to see. Obviously, they definitely. I hope they have a plan for this hero. He's worked well in the past with Shadow Demon Luna, Shadow Demon Morphling.
Turn to ban.
Might even see a Spectre come out too. I think has that hero even been picked yet? I don't think there's that many heroes Shadow Demon works well with. It's like PL, AM, Spectre, Luna.
Yeah, I've seen like some roaming supports like Shadow Demon, Lina, that kind of a thing. So maybe they want to try like do some dueling with like a Lina mid or a Leshrac mid, where Shadow Demon can set up.
I think TNC plays him more defensively. I think 1437 plays him not so aggressive, so I think he's just gonna try to sneak around and could rather try to turn ganks.
You can disrupt somebody who's stuck in Disruptor ult, but I think there's probably better heroes for that.
Answering one of your earlier questions, Spectre is indeed one of the 4 heroes that has not yet been picked entire tournament. Vayne Spectre, Tiny, and Wraith King. Shadow Demon only chosen 7 times, but has won almost all those
5
games.
seconds remaining.
That'd be an impressive prediction, Ben, if they do go for the Spectre.
I just remember from majors, he had like 20 kills or something.
I think Raven.
Yeah, I think he had like 26 or 27. It was something absurd.
Spectre is the hero to do things like that, if he ever gets picked.
10 seconds.
Actually, why is Spectre being passed over so often?
His ultimate is
5 seconds remaining.
his cooldown is like 180 seconds on level 1.
That much?
Yeah, I think three minutes. So that's like too long for him to.
Way too slow.
Yeah.
Essentially puts him in the position where he can only influence one team fight every once in a while, and it doesn't get to.
A little too slow, and also not very strong in lane. We've seen a lot, like we saw last game, Necrophos up solo against that Darkseer. Incredibly strong laner.
Earthshaker is a sensible pick, not just due to his strength, but of course Shadow Demon summons 2 clones with abilities.
They usually pick them with illusion heroes. It's natural for you to want to pick Shaker in case they do like a PL, which has been super popular.
PL's great versus Disruptor, right? You can bounce out a glimpse with
Doppelganger.
OG's turn to pick.
And it's a pretty long time also too that you're out of the game with Doppelganger.
I think I've seen TNC play this hero earlier in the group stages, and I wasn't super impressed with it. I've been quite underwhelmed with Clockwork throughout this entire tournament. I don't think he rised in favor as like this new like melee 4 position. But here they're going to be playing it as a 3 most likely.
They're going to need to pick a lot of damage on their last 2 heroes because like they don't have any burst on either Shadow Demon or Earth Spirit, and Clockwork, like he really wants to kill someone when he hooks in and cogs.
And now he can just get glimpsed out. Or they can sleep and just reset.
Yeah.
But he's good for Earthshaker.
The Earthshaker is a good pick for OG here as well because Shadow Demon is quite good at catching people if you go too far out on the lane. And since Earthshaker can block the lane with his fissure to be able to get the lane back and farm safely under the tower, it's a good counter to that.
So it seems like both of you guys favor TNC's, or sorry, OG's draft a little bit more. What are the good things about TNC? If any.
I don't really see it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to these next 2 picks to really show me the direction that they're going in. However, I'm just not a big believer in the Shadow Demon hero. I didn't mind the Earth Spirit first pick, but having Clockwork as a 3rd pick, I think they're really just depending on Earth Spirit for team fight. I don't know how much you can rely on Clockwork to be your catch throughout a game.
And I mean, looking at OG's obviously the huge team fight in the form of Disruptor and Earthshaker, and you talked about how it's kind of unclear what TNC is strong at this point. Is this an unusual position to be in for TNC, or does this sort of opening happen sometimes and it's completely clarified with the last 2 picks?
They probably have a plan, yeah, to like fill out the 2 spots. They won't come into this game without a plan, so it's just more that we don't really know what they're gonna do.
I think they think quite differently than we do, and so it's hard for us to really kind of put a finger on what they're going for.
But here when OG picks Legion, then it seems it's Legion offlane and Shaker support. Is that a Naga core then? Or is it
Hotel could play LC.
Okay, yeah,
Figure
it's
that
quite
he
good
played.
against block, right? So
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
it's still quite open for them. They can do like anything.
This is that fourth pick that's tough to do. Kind
Fourth pick for TNC.
of fourth pick for OG. They just don't have a lot of information on any, they don't have information on any of the cores for TNC, and they have to pick one of their own.
Luna once again.
At least now they have the combo with SD Luna, which has been very successful in the past, but after Shadow Demon was nerfed a bit, it hasn't been so popular, but it can still win games for sure.
I feel like it needs a BKB again, though.
Definitely does need to be. The nice thing about Shadow Demon Luna is that Shadow Demon can disrupt the Illuna and send illusions down certain lanes and farm those without actually being there. In games like this, you know, I love playing Shadow Demon and the Shadow Demon Luna combos because you get so much farm on Shadow Demon. These Luna illusions just clear waves in jungle incredibly quickly.
Sometimes you get killed from the lanes when people try to defend against the illusions.
Yeah, dude, the illusions are no joke.
TNC's turn to ban.
I mean, OG set up for the illusions here with the Legion Commander as well. She's very good at killing the illusions with her nuke.
Overwhelming odds. Yeah.
Of course, Anti-Mage and Terrorblade banned
10
by OG.
seconds remaining.
Invoker still seems pretty decent. I guess they could be worried about the push coming out from TNC, however, with the Pug in the last pick, but I mean, OG.
Saving Anna's last hero for last, definitely putting in mid, putting Notel on some softer carry. I think OG is really identifying what works for them. I like their chances in this tournament moving forward, especially in this game.
They could still shake your mid as well, right?
They could. I think in all likelihood they're going to want a little bit of a harder carry. And I guess, you know, you could say that and you could put their harder carry in a safe lane. But I just want to see Anna mid on a hard carry.
Out.
That is not a good matchup for Shaker as well. So.
That's sniper time if I've ever seen it.
Oh, interesting.
What
Talk to me
is?
about the sniper pick.
Oh, sniper. Yeah, sniper works really well against Luna because you're very, very, very far range. Luna, short attack range, wants to get in nice and close. Sniper's one of the few heroes that can actually contest OD in lane. He, you know, is a natural hurricane pike builder to hop out of the clockwork cogs, and he's got some teammates to back him up. I doubt it's going to get picked. I guess I'm just a sniper fan.
More common options are Storm,
Lina,
Invoker ban.
that's not scary enough.
Lina, Shadow Queen,
Lina took it.
Razor.
And the pick for Ana. Templar Assassin.
Way less exciting than sniper, but a very good pick.
Oh, he has the log cosmetic. Ugh.
Anna's on a hard carry in the mid lane. I like it.
Well, game 2 is about to be underway. TNC lags behind 0-1 OG. Been unable to have success here at TI, and maybe this is their time to shine. Let's go down to the casters for game 2.
Lumi, our panel, they do not believe in TNC. They think the road ends here. OG will get their revenge. They've got the more comfortable draft. They seem to have a clear play style that they want to employ, and hell, they come in with the 1-0 advantage, perhaps a little morale boost.
Yeah,
you believe in TNC.
I mean, TNC hasn't been doing well. They lost their last group stage match against LGD, I believe, 0-2. They got 0-2 yesterday by LFY. Today hasn't started well. But, you know, the panel also doubted VP's picks yesterday, and they've been work. So who knows?
True.
Let's see if TNC could make this work, and they have to. This is their last shot.
What does our panel know anyway? At least that is the hope for the pride of the Philippines, TNC, representing their homeland here on the big stage. OG, how about their draft this time around? Do you any weaknesses that you see, anything that TNC could potentially exploit as they come in looking like the underdogs?
I think OG's lineup starts very slowly. You know, Ana on the Templar Assassin, good laning hero, but does need to stack Ancients, does need to farm the Ancients. And then you're off lane, you have the LC, does need to find the Blink. Naga, we know what she does, takes a while to get online. So I think there's a good kind of 10-15 minutes for TNC kind of them on an off-lane hero Clockwork to do so. Yeah, he's kind of hit and miss, but you got to hit now. This is the time to go, and TNH has got the hero to do it.
Many of you who are just tuning in for TI may have missed it, but Shadow Demon Lona was a scourge for months and months, to the point that pretty much every pro player was crying out, not just in their matches, but also in pubs, please, nerf this combo. I can't take it any longer. How much weaker is it now, Lumi? Obviously, TNC still think it's viable, so do you view it that same way? Are there any like new weaknesses to the duo that could be exploited by OG?
We'll discuss that later, as now the initiation comes in against 04, S4.
They do might be starting off 0-1 here at the rate things are going.
Where's the stun, though?
Too tanky. No disables. They do have the Astral Imprisonment, but now OG are actually coming back in. They want to catch out Cuckoo. TNC just didn't have the follow-up. Samage now dropping the cogs. He wants to get away. Tibbs is a bit late out of there, and Cuckoo's almost dead. Jerax coming in, can't quite finish him. Instead, he's mauling Raven here, forcing him back with the boots advantage. Cuckoo goes for the Roach deny. He gets bashed, and S4 jams it in for a first blood. A catastrophe for TNC in the pit.
Critical mistake there by TNC. They went in, they got the initiation, but Samage wasn't in position to use his cogs.
They're still chasing. They're going to
lose runes out of this. They gave a first blood. They're going to lose a bounty rune. Samage is going in for this. He's going to get off a cog. They're going to jump in, cog a couple people out. Who got the runes? It's going to be going towards OG.
And they get the kills, though. Fly is pretty low, but No-Tail's in position with the help of Jerax. Don't know that they can even bring the Disruptor down. Tims is still chasing for this. They recognize Jerax is out of mana, so there are no more fissures here. TNC are not ready to let OG go home easy. Tims with the man mode roll forward. 1437 gets the job done. Tims tries to get away. He will end up falling. Fly one last auto attack brings him down. 2-1 to start. First blood to OG. The rune advantage not there. It was a 2-for-2 bounty rune trade, but unconventional heroes perhaps snagging a few of them here for TNC.
Samage still in a little bit of trouble up top. Eats a Thunder Strike as well. Simultaneously on the mid lane, Disruption coming in. Can they actually get this kill? Ana looks like will be going down. In fact, he does. Last hit going to Cuckoo.
Started with that early point in the side blades. Normally what you see, you just want to get a last hit, but of course, did not have the refraction that could have saved him there, as TNC
top lane.
Top fissure, top lane on Samage. The chase is on.
No
he
mana.
Gets away to safety. A very chaotic start here, Lumi. So let's look at the lanes a little bit as things calm down. We're going to see a 2-1-2 set up potentially for TNC, depending on where 1437 ends up going with his Shadow Demon. Still an open question there, but as far as the laning stage goes, last game it felt like Jerax just was the solution. Aside from some Sand King roam, do you see TNC committing to that level of ganking again? Do you see OG able to deal with it?
Well, the whole lineup is to have Tims kind of come online early, get a lot of ganks off, and then follow it up with the Clockwork hitting level 6, right? So when you picture that, Sand King is probably the perfect hero to be in the lanes, drop off that long-range fissure as a defensive tool to kind of stop the initiation power of TNC. And if you just look at the lanes a little bit closely, the fact that S4 got first blood with his overwhelming odds, he gets to start the bottom lane with Poor Man's Shield and Boots and Quelling Blade, and he gets levels out of this. So I think the fact that S4 had that kind of start is a big reason why I think OG is going to be fine in the early game, despite having a very greedy laning draft.
OG, for now at least, getting the nice start here on Ana mid. Already 12 CS. 1437 does lurk in the trees. Generally, with the TA, you see a lot of Ancient stacking as well. Already a single double stack has been created, so OG getting off to a good start there.
We're going to see initiation mid, disruption into a row in.
No Earthshaker in position. Ana, though, has the refraction. Ooh. Now the disruption comes through right as the boulder smash was timed up. Still, he's taking heavy damage here. They're going to need more, but the fissure arrives in time. Jerax was sweeping towards bottom.
And that's exactly what
but came back mid.
You know the offense is coming. Jerax, all he needs to do is defend the mid and perhaps bottom a little bit. Make sure you stack for your team. His job is just exactly what he did in game 1, being in the right place at the right time.
Now with Earthshaker, it's easier because you have such a crazy long initiation or counter initiation range, as it were in this case.
I wouldn't say easier because Earth Spirit, you could get to places a little bit faster as well for your role. So I think both heroes are quite good, but Shaker is just better for defensive purposes.
Yeah, which is really what they're relying on here. TNC, the aggressors for now. You see Sam H also making an aggressive move of his own up in this top lane, trying to force Fly away. So far, so good for OG elsewhere. No-Tail at 21 CS. The Legion Commander's at 20. They got to slow S4 down, but he just easily presses the attack and backs away to safety.
Fissure blocks off Tims a little bit, but he's going to be fine. I mean, they would like to stop S4, but they really can't, given the start that he had with the first blood and then the items that he got after that. So
I mean, compare him to Sam H.
Yeah.
Sam H is 3-8 as far as CS goes. S4 is 20-1.
you could make the argument that the CS is not as important for the Clockwork. He's more interested in levels, because once he gets level 6, with his skills alone, he'll be able to find support kills. Shaker's a free pick. You can make the argument that Disruptor is a free pick as well before he gets off his glimpse. Let's say he's like, low HP, gets chain stun, that kind of stuff. And the other really nice thing about TNC's lineup is that they have a lot of save. Last game we keep saying that that's one of their weaknesses. They don't have any. You got Disruption. You got Astro Prism.
Tims, nice little snag there tonight. Ana, his precious regen rune, now wants to get away. Gonna tank a club. Follow-up fissure comes through. Tims still sticking around though. Does have that rolling boulder ready for a rainy day. Will back out to safety. So doing his part to try and shore up this mid lane. I think an OG fan would say, we'll take the gold.
No Tail waving his arms about. Finally, we'll get off the mirror image.
Yeah, not really the easiest kill for a Clockwork at this stage. Perhaps if we see the Earth Spear rotate that way.
One thing I do want to mention is that in the last month or so, your Clockwork player, Sam H, has really been the sacrificial lamb. Hold that thought here as we jump in the mid lane to hit.
Huge commitment on
Nana,
that,
but yeah, no kill.
Bit short of the refraction mana.
Yeah, they always kind of leave Sam H on a cliff by himself. There's no help ever sent to him. And he's on a very important role this game. He is expected to find level 6 and convert it into kills without any help.
Your two other cores are mainly just farmers, OD and Luna. So you're relying on that Clockwork combined with the Earth Spirit to make all the plays early.
Fly juking about among the creep waves, so the battery assault damage will get spread out and not onto
Bring in
it.
a third, though. They get off the net, and now they try to converge on Sam H here, trapped between a rock, a hard place, and a totem. Fly will bring down, and meanwhile, they're looking for S4 as well. But he's a bit tankier, not the easiest kill. Still, they pursue him out. The Shadow Poison stack, if they're going to need more damage, a little bit more. A third poison and a Lucent Beam. TNC's persistence is rewarded.
And what we saw just there is what Ake brought up during the panel. You got a lot of chain stuns. The aura gives the rest of the team a ton of right-click damage. And even through the Portman shield, they were able to chase them down.
Let's talk about the Shadow Demon, Lumi. We haven't seen him much, really at all.
Yeah. I believe you were asking about the SD Luna, and then the level 1 mayhem broke out.
But I also want to just talk about the build, because I have seen a few SD picks where you're leveling up your Soul Catcher early, you're just going for kills. Are you expecting that type of build at 1437?
I think because their aggression has to come so early, the Soul Catcher max is very, very good for that kind of gameplay. But they also have the SD Luna, so I think it's one of those scenarios where 1437 could take it in multiple different directions depending on what he values. Like, does he want to get kills early, or does he want to have a little bit more making farming power? We're going to get answered really quick as he levels up to 4 and 5.
Oh, Tim's a juicy stack being created here. Something that OG would love to contest. As they do scout Raven moving in. He's not level 6 yet, so potentially they could jump him here. JerX comes in from behind. It is nighttime. They haven't seen this gank that's forming, and Tims will be the one they look to take down, but he gets up the boulder smash. He rolls away, tries to anyway.
Duel.
Fly there with the interrupt. They have the duel. The disruption prevents it, but not long enough. S4, he's the winner, and he'll get that plus 10.
I think he definitely wanted to duel his ally there just to prevent the duel win, but I guess spells are queued up a little bit too early, and fortunately they give the 10 damage to the LC. And that's a crazy thing here, right? S4 hits level 6 before the Luna. Had Luna had Eclipser, I think that fight goes completely a different direction.
But give OG the credit for identifying their timings as well.
Yep.
Knowing when they can go in, TNC trying to do the same thing. You could see, as mentioned, stacks are important, and look at the positioning to Fly. If TNC want to gank these, they're going to have to take the long way around. 1437 gets that ward up on the high ground. They know this is happening, but Fly also knows they're coming. He reveals Theben. And unlikely that TNC can actually make it up this cliff. They might try, though. They're going to roll in. Now look for the boulder smash, potentially. Tims, though, he gets the 2-hero connection, but where's the follow-up damage to this? They need more. S4 comes in, head full of steam, and already they've brought down Tims. They might get Cuckoo, too. Commits forward, but the duel says no. S4, 2 for 2. Very early.
I can't help but feel like TNC is just forcing too much. They're charging up a hill into a shrine.
Almost desperate, even.
Yeah.
And OG are just sitting back and raking in the gold. A 2K gold lead, a 2K experience lead. That's before these Ancients are cleaned up. They're only going to get farther ahead, Lumi.
Yeah, I think they definitely needed the Clockwork level 6 and the hook shot if they want to take a fight in a position like that.
He came in, he actually whipped the hook. So they even committed his early rotation unsuccessfully. But they're still going to keep on contesting. TNC committing forward, want to try and steal these Ancients, at least deny them to Ana for now. They're leaving Raven bottom in the meanwhile on his own, not bringing the Luna to the early fight. The Eclipse was already committed previously.
Ana, will he get called? Do they have detection for him?
Doesn't seem like they can do much to kill him off. 1437 finally forced to TP up top because No-Tail is just casually pushing there. There's not just the TA in this game. There's other carries to worry about. They do set up on mid. Boulder Smash comes through. They need to kill up Jerax, but he gets up the fissure. Rolling Boulder forward. Tim's commitment. They'll get Jerax as the kill, but they might lose Cuckoo again. He's a Jaker. He's finished off. Flies on a killing spree. And TNC are pressing this way too hard. OG might get more. The trap comes out. Tim's going for the deny, and he'll be denied in that effort as OG crack open another kill and extend that lead. Nearly 3,000 gold. Still the Ancients there for the taking. What a train wreck for TNC.
I do believe that Raven let loose the Eclipse during that time and was able to pick up a kill, so a little bit of something for the Luna, but still though, the overall game plan for TNC is get ahead early. They're falling behind in CS. They're falling behind in kills. They have not stopped or slowed down the Naga Siren. S4 is going off. He's about to finish his Blink Dagger. Every checkmark that TNC wanted to get from the laning stage
is a big red X.
Yeah.
Can TNC change the game plan? They're queuing up a Midas here on the OD. We do see Sam H trying to find Jerax in the trees. The battery cell coming through.
Okay.
Fissure whiffs.
Takes the rune. All right.
Might back away. A little space created as OG send in 3 towards that mid lane. But can they change it, Lumi? Can they slow down? They have Shadow Demon Luna. They're trying to build a Midas on the OD. Is the game plan adjustable, or do you feel like they're really just committed to this type of play?
Hold that dog. Mid lane fight breaks out again here. Ana shouldn't die from this. They do have both OD and Luna, so they definitely could scale. Even though the Radiance is coming online, gotta keep in mind that Shadow Demon can just take a Naga Illusion for himself as well and make more. So I definitely think TNC has a hero to scale. I'm more worried about the way that they're playing right now. They seem very desperate. Their ganks are not connecting.
They're
a lot of spells are missing.
They're going to dive on it now. Blink Dagger comes out from the Legion. Fly's coming in as well. There's the Cog connection. They need the follow-up damage. The Static Storm committed. Fissure on top. On the wrong side, TNC should be able to retreat, but Sam H is going to go down. And they even bring in the Luna for this. The duel comes through, an instant win. Number 3 for S4, and the chase is on.
Trap.
1437's low. He does not have the disruption available any longer. OG on point with these rotations. They keep the TA alive. They force the Luna rotation. For TNC, at least she holds Eclipse, but again, it's TNC pressing, it's OG reacting just right, and also farming elsewhere. No-Tails just sitting top. As you mentioned, a fast Radiance is on the menu, unless they can kill him here. They'll try for it with the Magnetize. Boulder Smash forward. No-Tail will go down. Still though, 3,500 gold banked, even after that death. This is a fast Relic.
Bottom side here, Cuckoo gonna get surrounded from all sides. Are we gonna see a duel? Still on cooldown for a couple of seconds here. But now
the mana, the ODO gets deployed, but they still stay alive. Now 1437 coming in with the Shadow Poison, but OG just look to retreat. They need this Boulder Smash to connect. The Glimpse is there, dragging the Earth Spirit away from the fight, and in fact all the way back to his own shrine. So OG looks like get out scot-free again. TNC can't catch a break.
Yeah, I mean, having spells like Astral Imprisonment and Disruption, very good on save, but when you use them to set up kills, it gives the other team a lot of time to respond, whether it's TP more heroes in or just set up an escape.
It's not like a Centaur Stomp double edge.
Exactly, it's just not very fast. Normally, Shadow Demon is paired up with a strong nuker, let's say Kunkka or Lina, and then use that Shadow Demon amp to get the quick kill, but he's not going for that game plan. In fact, you were asking what spell he's going to level up. He's going to go for the Shadow Poison max. When you're playing alongside an OD and you're just spamming away the Shadow Poison, you will get a lot of mana back. So I can see the beauty in that. But right now for this phase of the game, I don't know if it's really helping him. As he gets ensnared, he will disrupt himself and buy a little bit of time. Here comes the Clockwork.
They're going to fight this. Good hope by Sam H. Is able to keep Fly back. The Glimpse is already committed. The Static Storm available. They're bringing in more reinforcements. Do OG commit to this? They have the song. Raven has the Eclipse. He lets it go. No-Tail's been called out. Jarek's in danger as well. From the side comes Cuckoo, but go to sleep, TNC. Take a nap. And OG want to get out of there, and it looks like they will. There is no further flank coming. Yeah, without the Clockwork Hook, that is all of their long-range catch. I mean, Earth Spirit could maybe row in and get off a kick, but he's also not in the fight. I'm very worried for TNC. This, you know, the first 13, 14 minutes was their timing window to get ahead. They have not gotten ahead, and I think this is going to be where OG starts to slowly take over and win with the Naga. Well, you've got a Relic already coming out on the Naga Siren, working towards a fast Radiance. The TA, Blink picked up, Deso next on the list. Can TNC even keep up here in the farm department? Their OD still doesn't have a Midas. They continue to die, and OG now stealing some stacks too. It's not just been OG fighting well, Lumi, like their balance of fight and farm has been superb in both games so far. As the economy continues to ramp up, they might even look for a dive here with that Blink on Ana. Creeps, TNC's best friend right now, but with no Eclipse, do they want to take this fight? Not sure the TNC are in the best combat position at the moment. They're going to bring Sam H in though. Cuckoo's in the neighborhood, so they do have 5 bottom, but this is something OG mostly are aware of, courtesy of that deep ward they've planted in the Radiant jungle. So they can back away and go back to farming, and that's exactly what they'll do. Well, one ray of hope is that Cuckoo does have the Midas queued up, so he's gearing up for a long game. I think we got to start talking about what is their game plan versus the Naga illusion, because I think we're kind of shifting into that phase of the game. So first of all, Cuckoo on the OD, he could kind of blow up these Naga illusions very easily. Shadow Demon could make some of his own by disrupting the Naga illusions, and Raven should be able to clear them out as well. So in terms of that, I think TNC, now their secondary game plan is to just bunker down, farm for 40 minutes, and hope that they could go late. Because I think the early game dominance option is completely out of the window already. Of course, they'd be a lot further along if they'd geared up to do it from the start, right? Like they could have just kind of let OG have their stacks, let OG find their farm and focus on theirs, but now they are climbing up a cliff to try and get back into it. Still good news for TNC also is that these tier 1s are up. Tier 1's up mid, tier 1's up bottom. They're relatively healthy for now, so they can still at least farm their jungle. They can play a little greedier with the Midas, with the Luna factor, as long as they don't lose any crucial fights. Well, TNC smoked under an observer again. Radiance is online now. No-Tail planting an illusion towards mid. The team always clustering around Ana as Raven about to have his smoke revealed. OG come in from the high ground. Eclipse, no, just at least for now, Elusive Beam. Now the hook forward, insta-glimpse back, flies there with the save. Now Raven committing the Eclipse rains down the ODO2. They get both cores. Huge opportunity for TNC now. I think what No-Tail wanted to do is he walked in here and kept trying to use his song to set up a team fight, but the chain stun from TNC was so on point and the burst damage to back it up. Finally, something good going for TNC. Can they get an objective out of this? They know they have to make something happen now, use this timing window, and they're going to try. Tims rolls in, finds the Shaker. Hey, Jarex, now the Lucent Beam too. Fissure comes out, Jarex tries to get away, and meanwhile the Static Storm. Dual victory denied. Last second, Banish is there. The turn onto S4. Another Banish, still stalling, still fighting. He lives! Thunderstrike. Who survived? Bring him down low, and now there's a random center coming in, not going to get the kill either. The fact that they have double save is going to make S4's life very, very difficult. Ana blinks in for the chase. They're chasing Raven out. That's a long way to dive, though. They have the song ready. Traps getting planted down. Sam H has the cogs. And just the threat of those will force them away. This is something you were talking about a lot when we were just waiting for the Game 1 draft, is like the way TNC got here was just this incredibly crisp fighting. And while the early stage was bad, it looked like they're pressing it. Finally, we see what TNC is capable of here. Look at No-Tail trying to cast a song repeatedly, or any spell rather. The Boulder Smash comes in right again when he's about to mirror image and then doesn't get a chance to even go for the song. Yeah. The critical thing for me during that fight is that Raven, or rather Cuckoo, excuse me, is going for a farming item. He escapes that big engagement alive, finishes the farming item, and now has a hood behind that. He's going to be a big force in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and he will ramp up very quickly. Hood first on OD is not something that you commonly see. So I'm very interested to hear your thought on that one. Looking at OG right now, I guess there's just a lot of magic damage, so you've got the Shaker, the Disruptor, the Naga Radiance Burn.
Is this really a good hood game, though?
Does he complete a pipe? I mean, there's still a TA, so yeah, it's not an amazing...
I think he just like watched an Envy replay and was like, okay, let's just try this, I guess. Top lane, Song flying off, and no tails out.
Oh, there's already the level 2 Song, so cooldown not as much of an issue here. And in good news for OG, they will have these windows this game, right? It's another game for TNC where they have long ultimate cooldowns. The OD ult, 160 seconds, the Luna ult, 140 seconds. Every time a team fight is taken, even if TNC win, you've got 2 minutes to pressure. So they take that bottom tier 1, they get another deep ward up on this Radiant Cliff in their own jungle, and perhaps OG can still take those fights, even after losing that crucial skirmish near the Roche pit.
Yeah, I could definitely see OG, especially with the Desolator finish on Ana, they could begin to, let's say, force these ultimate on cooldown like you suggest, and then take objective, whether it's Roshan, tier 1s, tier 2s. So that's something that TNC has to be very careful about, when to use their ultimates, and they pretty much have to win their engagements when they do use it.
Cuckoo is going to rotate to join his team. They are smoked up right now. Dire Ward across the cliff to scout a bit of his movement. And OG are just playing safe, hugging near the shrine right now. Doesn't seem like TNC will find anything. But it does feel a bit different from game 1, right? Aside from the fact that it's, you know, pretty even at this stage where OG was starting to pull ahead, it's more the fact that like TNC's lineup feels like it can scale. You've got the Shadow Demon Luna Factor, they have the OD with the Midas. Sure, maybe the Hood isn't the strongest late game pickup for him. As Ana jumps in, he gets caught out. He wanted this Ruin, he's going to try to find an early kill, but the hook shot comes through. Big commitment coming from OG, but they won't have the Song. Ana to the high ground, up and away. Will he survive? The press, the attack is there, and now the trap sprung with a Thunderdome deployed. 2 have fallen. Hood won't save the OD. Ana might still go down, though. The Magnetize keeps on going. Tim's nets them the 1 kill. Does anybody bite back? They have that OD ult. The Song's up soon. He's going to commit first the Clockwork. Maybe more to come. Raven joining the fray as well. Has the Eclipse. Jarek's low. Jarek's not dead, though. Scurries to the low ground. Raven tries to find the angle. It's the poison that gets him. Now Fly's in danger, too. OG must retreat. They do so instantly.
Even though Cuckoo died there, no dual damage was given away.
They're not done yet.
Oh,
he shoots. He won't connect.
He's got the row. No vision there, though, so unfortunately. Had he hit the row, he would have earned charge to probably complete the kill.
Yeah, even with the glimpse back, I think probably Fly still dies then, but... Oh, very tense moments here for both teams. We'll have another look at this fight.
Yeah, so Ana goes right in, and good saves again. Disruption as well, Shadow Demon Disruption, but that gives a lot of time for OG to come back in, and this combo play of Fissure, the Static Storm, as well as the Kinetic Field, looks like the dual victory was had there, and now the fight drags on the other side of the hill, and that's where the Shadow Demon Poison actually did a surprising amount of work.
Speaking of that Shadow Demon, while on paper it is a game where 1437 can be very farmed, at least for now, he is not. Does that start to change now? Do you see him really ramping up in terms of the item progression?
I think so. He has so much... It's so easy for him to get farmed. You know, PPD talked about how easy it is for him to get farmed when he played it next to a Luna. This game he has the option of Luna, also has the option of just getting it from the Naga as well.
Right as you say that, he just kills a full creep wave.
There you go. I'm sure, you know, Raven would have liked that creep wave, but...
That was a pretty difficult fight for TNC, but they're going to look for another as they group up in the mid lane. Hookshot just whipping it now. S4, he finds the duel. In comes the Boulder Smash. Still, I think he might get the kill. He will. Even the winner again. Every duel completing his way. Now Sam H trapped out, glimpse back as Fly looks to wrangle him. They're going to go for more. Up the cliff and into Cuckoo. Has the Hood, at least for now, to keep him alive. Raven trying to lend support with the Eclipse. Out comes the Sanities as well, but it's not enough. They've lost 3. They likely lose Raven here too. No teleport scroll. Wants to at least try and buy this Manta Style. Don't think he gets that either. He's down. It's a triple for Gustav. OG surging back, finding the pickoffs and completely dismantling this TNC 5-man.
And now they go right into the Roshan. They get the Desolator, so this should be very fast. Before these heroes could even respawn in time. Clockwork bought back for the last fight, so his respawn time is very slow. A very unfortunate positioning for TNC, especially right from the get-go. Shadow Demon getting caught. He's supposed to be the save. He's supposed to stay on the back line. And when you start to lose Disruption and then you lose Astral Imprisonment, both your saves being initiated on in the beginning, the rest of your team just get ran down. Look at how good OG is at chasing. they got the glimpse, they got the long-range fissure, they got the traps. We're going to see this one more time. As soon as the hook misses, they go in for the Shadow Demon. I think this is where TNC just needed to get out. But they decide to stay and fight, and as a result, Glimpse chases for one more kill. The Blink Daggers gets another, so not a good look for TNC.
And every time they've been fighting into OG vision, there was a ward on the hill mid. It's actually still there. Previously, when they took that fight at the bottom rune, they were fighting up a hill into a shrine. So their fight selection is often at a disadvantage.
And this is a weird one too. They're smoking into the enemy team without their ultimates.
But they do have a scan that hits pay dirt, but like you said, they're lacking the big ult, and OG's ready for this. Hook will start though. Jerax gets jumped, might just go down to the Soul Catcher. One more auto tech scores the kill. Now Sam H in too far. OD also died in the midst of that. Another win for S4, plus 72 damage with these duels, and Raven's next on the list. Has no Eclipse. It's Tim to the rescue. Magnetize, huge combo. Is there enough damage? No, they need the follow-up. 1437 laying in the Shadow Poison. Can he play the carry? 4 have fallen. It's Theban against the world, and Ana charges in. They're going to fight now at the Shrine, and now they'll get the team wipe. OG. Salt in the wound here for the TNC fans. Again, fight selection, Lumi, coming back to haunt them.
Was that desperation? I'm not sure. They fought into OG, who has finished an Aegis, or got an Aegis, excuse me. They don't have both their big nukes coming online. Imagine if they just had Eclipse or Sanity's Eclipse. Look at how much damage that the Earth Spear was able to do on his own. They just needed a little bit more.
Pressing too much. It's been a problem for TNC all game long, and now they get punished again. Sam H trying to defend a tower that's already dead. He falls as well. Look here on the chase, and they're even going to glimpse back. Cuckoo goes for the banish.
He's going to be there. He's going to be right next to OG.
And they're still going to be able to jump him. Drops the ult. Won't even get
Two
S4.
crits in a row.
Everything just barely in favor of OG as he survives through all of that. Another death. This game is spiraling out of control, and TNC, they have to get their heads straightened out real quick.
You know, we keep talking about the ability to scale, the ability for TNC to go in the late game, but that's assuming that you don't die and give up these objectives for free. There won't be a late game if you just keep losing buildings like this.
TNC trying to hold the line here as Jerax creeps in. He's got that Blink Dagger. Go Slam ready, but really, OG can farm. They also scale well in the late game. And with this kind of advantage, you can look to starve your opponents and prevent them from even keeping up in farm. So he won't go for the jump. OG continue to progress here. We'll take a look at those items. No Tail now, picking up the Yasha, the BOTs, the Manta's coming next for him. The TA already grabbed the Crystal as BKB about to be complete. In a game where TNC don't have great answers for that BKB, they can maybe cog him and just try and ignore him in fights. They can try and stall with these banishes, but...
Demonic Purge is probably the best they got, but...
But they're not killing him, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. Not through Song, not through like press the attack, all that stuff. For TNC, I think the most important item is going to be Ravens, because not only is he scaling for himself, he's also scaling for the Shadow Demon, right? The Shadow Demon Luna combo really takes off once you have a butterfly for the Luna. That's when the illusions are really, really hard to kill, and you know they mow down creep waves very quickly. But
they have to balance that with staying alive.
Exactly.
And the butterfly will not help you in these big team fights nearly as much.
He has to go for BKB first just to survive in these team fights, like you suggest, and then after that it's butterfly. But that's like 10k gold for Raven. So I think OG still has a lot of time to play the game that they want to play, whether it's wait for the next Roshan or just start constricting the map.
I don't know that we've seen a more successful off-lane Legion this tournament. S4 9-2-6, and did it largely without any help from the team.
Again, that level 1 first blood that he got was so fortunate, and how chaotic that fight was. He got the first blood, had the boots right from the get-go, and he just laned against Luna 1v1 for like 2 minutes, because everyone was still fighting.
Now, OG look to break the base. They look for the 2-0. TNC, it's desperation mode now. OG, that's
it just gave him a tier 3 for free.
Could be theirs. Boulder Smash, a wayward shot. Tims won't connect, and now OG look to move in deeper. They want this melee. Look for the duel. The blade mail gets popped. The press the attack sounded. But OG are going to back away. The Luna army is starting to ramp up, forces them on their heels. Now Tims looks to move, but the song comes out. And suddenly he's in deep. No-Tail with the positioning, keeping the rest of the team away, but still 14-37, ready to save the day. He gets up to Blake, the disruption as well. OG are actually being forced back here with the Magnetize coming through. Can they pursue? The duel is still ready. Roll in, commitment, one hero shot, almost got two. Now the echo from Jerax, a dagger through the heart of Filipino Dodo. OG takedown 4. Sam H, the lone survivor. And back to the base, and back to objectives. And on in the lower bracket, OG sounds the call. They are close, Lumi, but a little overeager. They will need these creeps to march in, and finally the creeps arrive. The melee falls, the range next on the list.
They could just go mid. They have so much damage with the Desolator. They have to press the attack to rejuvenate the heroes. Yeah, they're going to keep going. 25 seconds till the Luna. A Luna that comes back with no ultimate. An OD that comes back that needs to get up in before he could do a ton of damage. I think this is going to be 2 lanes of Rax at least.
2 lanes, probably all for now, and given what's at stake, you have to imagine TNC are going to fight this to the bitter end. Twice this TI, and I believe 3 times in TI history, we have seen Mega Creep comebacks.
Well, we're going to see an Echo Slam, and this one hits right on the OD, gets him before he uses any of his spells. Great Static Storm as a follow-up, Eclipse doing absolutely nothing.
Also interrupted the Eclipse mid-cast animation, so it came out late. It came out when OG could select how they wanted to approach the fight. Huge opportunity there, and Jerax completely nails it.
Yeah, and again, TNC was using spells like Disruption as well as Astral Imprisonment as an initiation, and thus they didn't have it to be used defensively. Now, granted, TNC does have a very good lineup for repelling big creeps. You got the Luna, you got the Shadow Demon Illusion that could make more Luna, so technically they could hold against these 2 upgraded creeps on both mid and bottom for a long time.
But I do think it's like you said, this Luna, she's just not that big yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a single tier 4 item. I guess the Mantis is the closest thing. But you need that 1 damage item to really start taking off that allows the illusion to scale, and that usually is the Butterfly. As Ana lies in wait, he's got a BKB. Banish was already used. They could jump on Cuckoo here. 14-37 waiting in reserve, but as he TPs away, it's an alarming moment for TNC fans. He needs to get out. Trap's getting dropped. Still he's in the trees. He blinks to the north.
They know.
There. The Fissure finds him.
How do they know?
Oh, boy. Oh, that's a painful moment if you're this OD.
He's got a lot of time to think about life choices.
What to buy to this point?
What to buy before he dies, The answer is not much. He's only got 500 gold.
Get some wards. They'll help you see this OG freight train coming for your base. It's looking very bleak. We have seen Mega Creep comebacks, but this early, with this level of farm on the team that's getting Mega'd, which they're not there yet, but you have to imagine OG are going for it next.
I mean, one of the prerequisites of Mega Creep comebacks is your ability to actually win fights, right? If you could kill OG, you could repel the creeps.
OG is winning those fights.
Exactly. I don't know if this is one of those Mega Creep comebacks, man.
A man can dream, and that's what TNC resort to now, praying for something miraculous to come their way. OG will churn through this tier 2. Ana, though, fighting through the back door. Still trying to work on it. Now the creeps arrive. And the last outer tower falls. TNC are slowly being choked out. Game 2, all OG, all the way down the stretch here. They just need 1 more lane, and then it's not but the throne that stands between them and victory.
A ton of pressure from all the other side lanes as well. The Nagas, the illusions are everywhere. Shadow Demon is doing a fine job defending against it, but economy-wise, TNC is not doing too well. I mean, OG could play it safe. They could wait for Roshan if they want, or just a smoke wrap around.
OG, they want to finish this one off. Swarming in onto TNC. Burning that Shadow Demon low. He's got to use the first banish defensively. Now the duel comes through onto Sam H. Churning through him. S4 finds one. Magnetized. Nope. Gonna be not available for now. And OG close it off with a Static Storm. More damage coming out. The Luna tries to hang on. Desperation mode. They are about to drop. The OG ult does decent work. Jerax stops. Actually, the turn. Kuka with the Magnetize. 3 have fallen. OG have overplayed their hand. They might lose on as well. BKB already committed. Now the banish. Look for round 2. The boulder slash on point. TNC hold the line.
Wow. Shadow Demon at the beginning of the fight was out of position, got initiated on. They had to spend the Astral on him. That means the Disruption's gone, the Astral is gone. So S4 found a good jump. They were going back in, but the buyback from the Shadow Demon then turned the fight.
5,000 gold swing, and it might be more. They've even found another. Cuckoo going deep for this one. S4 pops the blade mail. Cuckoo doesn't have the damage. He needs that +1. It's not there. He will have to back away. That was a 5,000 gold swing, Lumi.
Well, we're going to watch this one more time. SC will just die, but he does buy back. The Storm, pretty good here. And
perfect Eclipse. Glimmer Cape keeps the Earth Spirit alive, allows Tim to get off the Boulder Smash. Then the Disruption comes through. The Magnetize is going off all the while. Tim stays alive so long, and it's like you said, that Shadow Demon buyback definitely turns it. Another question, like, should they first of all, they don't need to dive that far. They can just go for the Megas there. Secondly, the Son and BKB were overlapped so that Ana didn't have his BKB for the follow-up fight.
Yeah. To answer you, no, they didn't need to do that, but they did. So TNC getting a fight victory here. 1437, looks like he's being chased around by illusions a little bit, but he should be okay. The other big critical thing in that last team fight was that Earthshaker did absolutely nothing. He was just controlled by a stun. I believe it was by the Earth Spirits, and then just got completely blown up by the OD. So as we saw, Jirax was a big contributing factor in these previous fights. The Echo Slam on the bottom lane was huge. The Fissures has been on point. If you could somehow eliminate Jirax from the fights, then I think TNC stands a much better chance. But still, though, they could not convert it into any big objective. They could not get that Roshan away. Imagine if TNC has Aegis and Cheese now. You know, you could be like, hey, they actually have a chance, but still. This is a very steep uphill climb.
Items are coming in. No-Tail completing his butterfly. We'll see Ana snagging the Aegis. Cheese going to be passed off to S4, who also has a BKB now and 2K gold banked up. So OG still 25,000 gold ahead. By all rights, this game is theirs. You play this game from this point forward probably 100 times. I think OG wins 99 of those at least, Lumi, if not 100.
There's that one
and they've
time,
only got the one game.
There's that one time.
They hang on, but it's slow and steady from OG right now. They're not committing. They spread the illusions. One Naga bottom, 1437. He can't be everywhere.
He has a blink, so
he can try his best.
The problem is he has to play in such a forward position to constantly make these illusions, steal Naga illusions, all that stuff.
And that's where like a glimpse, potentially setting up a duel can really punish you.
Fissure, like there's just so much long-range initiation power from the side of OG.
I mean, the good news at the same time is they have that follow-up save with the OD banish, so they have another way.
Well, here's the thing, that's exactly what happened. You know, SC got initiated, OD saved him, but that's both your save gone, and then that's where S4 just jumps in and initiates, so.
It can work, but it also can just leave you helpless to protect, say, the Luna, who does have a BKB now. Important to mention that. Our OD of Cuckoo building towards a Lincoln Sphere, it appears. You can see OG know how tenuous or quickly this game can turn. I shouldn't say it's tenuous. They're up 28,000 gold and 2 lanes of Rax, but they know one more bad fight, and suddenly TNC might just be able to take them head on, and from there, you know, the game can fall apart. So they don't want to take any risks. They don't want to even give TNC a whiff of an opportunity to get back in this game. They are farming together on their side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, I think OG still has a couple of fight to give. It's just that it depends on who gets the gold on the other side. Imagine if Raven gets like a Rampage or 4 kills and he just finishes a Butterfly. Suddenly this game changes complexion by quite a bit. I think the Luna illusions then could start to take over the game. And of course the Shadow Demon illusions as well. TNC Raven's still very far away from the Butterfly. He needs to consider whether he wants to save for buyback as well, because we are at this point.
I would be pretty surprised if OG just don't actually try to take the Megas with this Aegis. They've picked up another Shadow Blade. No-Tail building towards a Silver Edge, it appears.
I think they're waiting for the critical items to come online. Ana is very close to finishing a second Butterfly for the team, so that would help his survivability. And this time around, Jirax has a Shadow Blade, so the game plan of kill Jirax first before the fight happens, that's...
They have triple Shadow Blade. No-Tail's picked one up as well.
Shadow Blade? No.
That is something fresh. Doesn't have the Silver Edge yet. OG are lurking, but they are scouted out right now. S4 under a Radiant Ward. Do they want to venture outside the base? Their last fight was won near their Foul.
Waiting for Cuckoo.
Oh god. S4 still lurks. Remember, he's also got the cheese and a BKB. It really does feel like TNC need to let OG come to them if they want to take this fight. OG marching in. They'll start with a Naga illusion, quick silence, and a quicker blink out by Cuckoo. Gets him back to safety, but the tower, that can't blink away. It's dropping rapidly here. Illusions, meanwhile, are spreading the map out, dragging TNC around. They take some hefty structural damage. This next time, once that glyph gets committed, this tower is going to drop. Do TNC make their stand? When will they fight? How will they hold? Many questions for fans of this team as they are on the ropes. TI7 elimination is nigh. OG are coming for your base. They're coming for your homes. TNC must defend. The glyph forced out. A smart, staggered siege. Ana out in front, the rest of OG very far back. Sam H, he's got the vision though. He could jump on the shaker if he wants to. That ward could be huge.
But in the trees, Blink Duel finds the real one. Do they have the disruption? They don't. It's Cuckoo. He's caught. He doesn't have buyback. No, he does. He's going to buy back immediately. But now the high ground.
Now looking for more. S4 cheeses up, and now the song resets the fight. Static Storm is ready. No. Here comes the combo. He gets two. Working his way out of it is Tims, though. The Eclipse comes through, but it's a futile effort from Raven. Overwhelmed. OG take the game. Revenge is theirs. Gave their fans a small palpitation, Lumi, but no heart attacks. They hang on here.
Very beautifully played by OG. I don't think they made too many mistakes. You could say that dive, you know, after they took 2 Raxes up, perhaps a mistake, but they were so far ahead.
And that was like the dream fight for TNC. As OG exit their booth, they will go deeper than they did last year. How far can this team go? I look back at OG historically, perhaps their most memorable tournament performance ever, the Frankfurt Major, where they went all the way in the lower bracket, ended up taking the whole tournament. This could be the start of something amazing.
I feel like OG this series, as well as their game against Infamous, has really shown that they are definitely evolving in the lower bracket, and they have to. I think this team can definitely go very, very far. I think something Ake has said during the panel is that this team has perhaps one of the highest ceiling out of all the teams at TI. And I think they're getting closer and closer to that ceiling as we're moving through the lower brackets.
Well, smiles and happiness for OG, devastation for TNC. You could see they were just emotionally very frustrated with the way that series turned out. Perhaps coming in even feeling like they had OG's number after last year, but a year is a long time, Lumi.
Yeah.
OG came prepared today.
I think the tough thing for them is that